How's it going, everyone? This is the George here, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. It was directed by Pete Browngarth, who is known for being the creator of Uncle Grandpa and being a storyboard artist for some other Cartoon Network shows, including Adventure Time, and I'm pretty sure The Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack. And this is the first fully animated theatrical Looney Tunes movie to come out. That's right. We're not relying on Michael Jordan, Brendan Fraser, or LeBron James to star alongside the Looney Tunes. This movie stars Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and Petunia Pig. And in this movie, Porky Pig and Daffy Duck were raised by someone named Farmer Jim. And before he leaves them, he trusts them to look out for one another and to take care of their home. And when they don't take care of their home and their home is being threatened, they have to find a job, and after many failed job attempts, the two get a job at a gum factory. But then the gum factory gets tied into some alien invasion and turns people who chew on the gum into zombies. And we have our Looney Tunes adventure. Now, on this channel, I've already reviewed both Space Jam movies. I'll put the links down below if you want to check them out. Those reviews are a few years old, but if you want to hear my thoughts, you can go check them out. But I'm no stranger to Looney Tunes. I grew up watching Looney Tunes since they showed reruns of them on Cartoon Network back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Always enjoyed Looney Tunes. I always enjoyed seeing Bugs, Daffy, Porky, Sylvester, Tweety, Wally, Coyote, and the whole group. In fact, I was very disappointed when the Coyote versus Acme movie got canceled. Now, there's still a chance that the movie could see lighter day if another company buys the movie, similar to how this movie was bought by another company. And with this movie, this was one of those movies where you're worried that it may not get released because Warner Brothers the last few years has been infamous for canceling movies that were meant to go to HBO Max. Batgirl, um, I forget what the name of the movie was, but it was a prequel holiday movie to the 2020 Scoob movie that was supposed to come out. That was another one. Coyote versus Acme. I'm not sure if that was meant to go to Max or not, or theatrical, but either way, that also got canceled. In fact, Warner Brothers has been kind of anti-animation. It's not just canceling live-action Max movies like Batgirl. It was also just animation. They've gotten rid of a lot of animation contact on Max. A lot of Looney Tunes episodes and shorts aren't on there. There's still some, but not a whole lot like there used to be. So there's always that concern that Warner Brothers is turning its back on what a lot of people enjoy about it, which is their animated content, whether it's Looney Tunes, Hanna-Barbera stuff that they got when Hanna-Barbera got purchased by Warner Brothers, or it's Cartoon Network stuff. But with this movie, I wanted to go out and support it because I love Looney Tunes. I heard a lot of great stuff about this movie. And also, it's a traditional 2D animated movie, which is a rarity to watch in theaters these days. Most of the time, unless you're in Studio Ghibli movie or an anime movie in 2D animation, most of the time it's gonna be 3D animated movies. And I'm not saying that 3D animated movies are bad. There's been a whole great ton of them throughout the years. Pixar has done a fantastic job. DreamWorks has done a great job. A lot of the Disney movies in the early 2010s were phenomenal with 3D animation. But with 2D, there's a lot of creativity you can do with it. And if you look back and see some of the traditional 2D animated movies, like the Disney Renaissance movies of the 90s, you can do so much creativity, especially with Looney Tunes. Looney Tunes is so humorous, but also creative at the same time. You see how creative the cartoons were back in the 40s and 50s, these when the Looney Tunes were at the height of not just their animation, but also quality. There was a lot of creativity going back in the day. And that's the thing I love about this movie is how well they utilize the traditional 2D animation. First of all, the characters look spot on. They don't mess around with the characters designs like some movies like to do. Do Daffy Duck and Porky Pig look exactly how they're supposed to look? Even some of the background characters that you were like, oh, I remember that him from that particular Looney Tunes cartoon. They still have that traditional look and style as well. Same thing with Petunia Pig. if anything, I think outside of like the few characters that was like the first time they ever appeared in a Looney Tunes cartoon, they basically paid homage to the design of the original Looney Tunes characters. And also, I have to say, even though the only few characters are Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and Petunia Pig, this movie shows that it doesn't need to rely on Bugs Bunny because a lot of people assume that you can't have Looney Tunes without Bugs Bunny. Actually, you can. People forget Daffy Duck and Porky Pig were created before Bugs Bunny were. And there's been a lot of cartoons just starring Porky Pig and Daffy Duck that have been terrific throughout the years, particularly the Duck Dodgers cartoons that have came out. And Daffy Duck and Porky Pig are such an iconic duo, and they are terrific in this movie. In fact, Daffy goes back to his more traditional Looney self in this movie. Because usually in a lot of Looney Tunes cartoons, Daffy's portrayed as the harsher, more grumpy character, mainly when he's with Bugs Bunny. But still, it's nice to see Daffy return to his traditional Looney self. And Eric Baza, sorry if I mispronounce that last name, the voice actor does a terrific job of voicing him and Porky Pig in this movie. He's not Mel Blanc, who was the man of 1,000 voices, who basically voiced most, if not every, male Looney Tune character in the original Looney Tunes. But he does such a great job of sounding and capturing those voices so well. Like, it's believable that this is Porky Pig talking, this is Daffy Duck talking. He does such a great job voicing these two characters. And the story of these two characters working together to save their home works so well. And it adds an emotional core to the story because this is a humorous movie. This was a really entertaining movie that even the adults in the theater were laughing. Which, if you're an animated movie and the adults are entertained, you're doing a fantastic job. And I think the adults were actually enjoying this more than the kids. But it's not just how funny and entertaining the movie is, it's the heart of the story, which is these two wanting to protect their home, making a promise to someone who took care of them, who raised them, that's no longer around. And also, Porky dealing with Daffy's poor decision making because Daffy does a lot of crazy stuff in this movie that gets them into trouble. And it's hilarious, but you can tell Porky's also getting frustrated by it as well. But they do such a great job with that. Now, the animation, there's some great things they do with the animation in this movie, particularly with some of the bubblegum scenes when the aliens are possessing the bubblegum. There's also a musical number where Daffy and Porky, minor spoiler alert, but where Daffy and Porky, they're celebrating working at this bubblegum factory. And the animation just looks really good. And even the musical number looks really good as well. Now, even though there is traditional Looney Tunes humor in this movie, there's also some modern day jokes that when it's being set up, you're ready to cringe because it's like, oh, here they go again. For example, another minor spoiler is a joke of Daffy thinking they can make money off being an influencer, and it's like, here we go again. And I think what got me ready to sigh was one of the trailers before this movie was the new Smurfs movie, and you see the Smurfs trying to be influencers in the trailer, and it's just like, good lord, they're going down this route with the Smurfs. You're thinking, oh lord, please don't go down this route with the Looney Tunes. But actually, the joke was pulled off pretty well. I would say all the jokes landed well in this movie. Now, the alien Vader character looks creepy, not horrifying, but you understand his motivations, although his motivations are kind of like revealed so sudden in the third act. I would say the third act feels rushed in the movie, even though it's an hour and 3-minute movie. Without spoiling anything, there's a twist in the third act, and I'll say the twist was handled well, but it feels like after the twist happened, they kind of just zoomed through the movie. And certain stuff felt rushed or forced in the third act, but it doesn't hurt the story or the movie at all. The movie's still very entertaining. Daffy and Porky are iconic in this movie, and again, it just shows that you can make a great Looney Tunes movie without relying on live action crossovers, having famous co-star actors in it, without having a huge cast of Looney Tunes characters, because it was really just, as I said, Porky, Daffy, and Petunia. It wasn't anyone else. There's no Bugs, there's no Sylvester, there's no Wile E. Coyote. It's really just these main three. This felt like a long Looney Tunes short that you can easily stretch into a really good movie. And this movie, to me, is probably the best Looney Tunes project we've gotten in a while. And I would say it's the best Looney Tunes movie we've gotten. And yeah, I enjoy Space Jam. I grew up on Space Jam. But this is traditional Looney Tunes in full length animated form. And also, they didn't have to rely on getting famous actors to voice these characters. They relied on actual voice actors in the industry who do a terrific job voice acting already. Like Eric Baza, he's got experience voicing Looney Tunes characters. So the fact that they didn't have to rely on a big cast as well or a big name star to voice one of the lead characters is terrific. And it shows that you can have a great animated movie in 2D animation with actual voice actors who aren't big household names. And unfortunately, I feel like this movie's not going to get seen by a lot of people because the marketing hasn't been that great. Not every theater is showing this movie. I didn't go to my usual theater to go see this movie. I went to the AMC at my mall because it was either that or the Regal that's not too far from where I live that was showing it. The other theaters weren't showing it. I don't think my Alamo Draft Class theater was showing it. Or Draft House, not Draft Class, thinking basketball due to Space Jam. But no, the Alamo Draft House wasn't showing it. So it's already not being shown in a lot of theaters. Although I would say the theater that I saw it in, it had a pretty good number of people that were watching it. But I don't know. Hopefully this movie makes a lot of money. Hopefully a lot of people go out and see it because I want to see more movies like this. I want to see more Looney Tunes movies on the big screen. I want to see more traditional 2D animated movies on the big screen. I want to see actual voice actors voice in actual theatrical animated movies. But yeah, the day the Earth blew up, a Looney Tunes movie was great. It was hilarious. I love Daffy Duck and Porky Pig. Hopefully, if this movie does decently enough, someone will purchase Coyote versus Acme, and hopefully we'll get more animated movies. Maybe we can get a animated Sylvester and Tweety movie, a animated Bugs movie like full on animated. Who knows? But yeah, my final score for this movie, The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, is gonna be an A minus. As I said, go check it out if you're a Looney Tunes fan. You're gonna love it. One of the best Looney Tunes projects to come out in years. It's a million times better than Space Jam: A New Legacy. Like, go check this movie out. It's worth seeing. And The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie. Have you seen it? What you think about it? And and I'm trying to think what question to ask. Okay. What Looney Tunes characters would you like to see in a theatrical Looney Tunes movie? Let me know in the comments down below, and I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe already if you haven't. Please share us with someone that loves the Looney Tunes, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Take care, everyone.